start with the research of Dan Gilbert, psychiatrist from Harvard, and his studies tell us that the #1 predictor of happiness in your life is the quality and depth of your friendships, your relationships with your friends and family. Also at Harvard is the GRAND study. It's been running over 70 years, and it reaches a similar conclusion. The #1 correlation with happiness is the depth of your social bonds, and it's by a wide margin. And then there's John Cacioppo at University of Chicago, and his research tells us that the lack of strong social bonds and isolation carries a stronger health risk than obesity or smoking. One more fact, the average American adult reports having just one close friend. Uh-oh. So I thought of a few different ways to get this thing started, besides the singer. And that was my favorite. I call it the setting the stakes introduction, right? Your happiness and your health. That's pretty good stakes. Let's go for it. First, I'm going to talk about how do we get to the place where we're at. So teenagers spend 20-25% of their time with friends, but adults spend about 4% of their time with their friends. We don't necessarily want to be teenagers, but 4 is a little low. So why does this happen? That's where we're starting. Well, how do we get where we're at? Well, there's several factors at play, and I'll talk about a few of them. First is biology. When you're young, you're still trying to figure out, where do I fit in the world? And you're looking around, and you're very open to all kinds of stuff, and you're exploring. And it's natural, and as you get older, of course, things change, and now you're figuring out who you are, and what kind of people you want to be with, and you want to protect what you have. Like, if I were an anarchist, I'd say, get those Democrats out of my life. Now, why do anarchists talk like Frank Costanza? I'm not sure, but in my head they do. So biologically, we change over time. Another factor is family. So if I was in college and I met some guy and he's funny, I'd say, I'm going to hang out with this dude tonight. Or I could skip class and hang out with him right now. But now, I'm married. I might meet some guy, I think he's really fun. I want to hang out with him, so I'll schedule an appointment, a dinner, 2 or 3 weeks down the road. Then he brings his partner, I bring my wife, and maybe one of them doesn't like each other. So there's an exponential increase in complexity. And if you have kids, then the ages of your kids can be as important as if you even like the other parent. So family provides a complication. What is a friend? Now that is an interesting question because it's really unstructured and ill-defined. If I don't talk to a friend for 3 months, it might not signify anything wrong, right? I just strike it right back up. Whereas, say, marriage is totally defined. If I don't talk to my wife for 3 months, things are going on. And I don't even have to try. I know this. And this flexibility also brings strength, though. Because of that, there's not the expectations. There isn't a lot of drama that's generated by breaking expectations because there aren't so many. But it does make it tricky to define. What is a friend? Well, I'm going to go to folk wisdom for this. A friend is someone to talk to. A friend is someone to rely on. A friend is someone to enjoy. Talk to, rely on, and enjoy. That's what a friend is. She's 80 years old. And she was raised to be an independent woman. That was who she was. I'm independent. I don't rely on other people because they disappoint me. And I'm not saying she had no friends. That's not what I'm getting at. But she ultimately relied on herself. Got older, got arthritis, started using a cane, got older yet, started using a walker that she named Alice. But nonetheless, she took care of herself. She still got around. And finally, though, her independence was severely challenged the day she had a stroke. Goes to the hospital. Now, she has to use a bedpan. She has to use a button to call a nurse to empty the bedpan. I haven't experienced that yet, but I believe that is an affront to your sense of independence. 5 days later, she's cleared to leave the hospital, but not to go home. She has to go to rehab facility for 3 months. And she's there, and slowly she regains use of the bathroom, regains the ability to walk around a little bit with her walker, Alice. And 3 months later, she's finally ready to go home. And it's exciting, but it's scary, because she's still not what she was before this all started. And will she be able to still be independent? Arrives home, her apartment in Brooklyn. In the door, there's some balloons. Welcome, you're home. Well, that's nice. But as they say on social media, you won't believe what happened next. She opened the door, and her carpet had been removed. Someone had put in hardwood floors. Furniture had been moved around a little bit so she could get around easy in her walker. The fridge was stocked. She had ordered a new bed. The bed had been set up. The old bed had to be cleared out. She was quite touched, as you might imagine. She wondered, how can I respond to this? And this is what she did. She put a note on her door. It said, the door's unlocked. Come on in if you have a chance. And almost every day, someone does. So people come and they say, hey, do you need anything? And sometimes, yes, she does. But mostly, they just come and tell stories and share and talk. And she decided that it was okay to rely on people sometimes. She now considers herself an independent person with benefits. So Beverly has friends that she can talk to, and she can rely on, and she can enjoy. That's what we want. One time I had an illness. I was on bed rest for a few months. And during that time, I had some friends that came and visited, brought me things. I had other friends that would reach out, how you doing, need anything. And I had other friends completely ignored it, didn't communicate. So why did I have that disparity of response? Well, for the last group, it was hard for them to be vulnerable. Some people see relationships kind of like a competition. And in competition, you don't win by showing weakness. But the truth is, we don't win at relationships, we win by having relationships. And all that's at stake, like I said, is your happiness and your health. And I want all of you to be happy and healthy. So these are the things you can do. Write down, who are your friends? Spend a little more time with them. Schedule some stuff with them, do things spontaneous with them, and tell them what they mean to you. Doing that will give you the benefits I've been talking about. Be intentional about it. It helps you do it, having a plan. So I love ideas, I love thinking, and I love intellectuals. So I'm really excited to give these ideas to a group of Mensans, because I want the Mensans to win big at life, to win big by having relationships. And I'll disclose one other thing. I'm terrified to do Q&A, because I'm not used to being one of the dumber people in the room. But I'll try to have some. Thanks for your attention.